Hi everybody, we have just finished a session here in Clonakilty with Leo, West and North Cork, focusing on how to make your business more lean, green and digital. So it's after getting a little bit quieter here now after the all of what happened here this morning. So what I want to do is share a summary of what I spoke about, but also what the panelists spoke about and also what the other speaker, Stuart, talked about as well. Okay, so the theme of today was all about unlocking competitiveness for businesses in West Cork. And as I was thinking about that, I was just focusing on what competitiveness might one need to unlock based on it potentially being hidden from plain view. So what I did was that I started off by telling people a little bit about our own competitive advantages. And for any of you who's not familiar with one of our businesses called Savvy Teens, for example, we run work experiences and we manage company outreaches for teenagers, particularly in transition year. So I was just making the point that three of our competitive advantages is, number one, we have our own impact tracking and algorithmic grouping technology to make sure that we establish diversity within the groups of the teenagers, but also to make sure that they maximise the number of people that they meet. Also, we are dedicated, entirely focused on active peer learning within our experiences. And the third thing is we really get young people. We like them, we listen to them, we respect them, we really get them, we really get them. But I was just making the point that you don't always have to know your own competitive advantages if you simply listen to how you're being introduced, how you're being referred, how you're being described by others. And if you don't know, or if you don't have a lot of opportunities to understand what those are, well then take the time to ask the questions of your customers, like, why do you choose us for this particular product or service? And you can do it in a way and with a language that really suits you. The next thing I talked about as well is that competitive advantages, of course, can come and go depending on time, regulation, change in the economy, change in social and cultural elements, all sorts of things like that. But when it comes to a stage that we're currently at, is as you're developing new products and services as well, is that it is important to talk to your customers and co-create solutions with them, in my opinion. And the reason for that is that if they're going on to be buying them in the future, you don't have to make decisions in a vacuum. Go and talk to them about little decisions that you might need to make, like whether, let's say in our own case, whether it might be timing, or whether it might be length of a module, or whether it might be how a site visit might happen, or whether it might be a communications platform. And I know I'm probably being vague there now because that makes sense more so to us and our own stage of our business, but talk to your customers, and it's always interesting to ask people, what do you think of this particular thing, or should I choose A or B? Big tech, of course, big tech companies or even small tech companies often will release a product in beta to garner feedback and collecting bugs and so on as well from customers. So learn from that. There's a lot of competitiveness that can come from simply talking to your customers. I also talked as well about the fact that you can develop new customer types, or customers kind of new reasons to come to you. So case in point in our own cases, for years in Savvy Teens, our customer would have come to us from a HR perspective, right? So they might have said, we're running an experience here and it's taking up a lot of people offline, or it's taking up a lot of time for staff. And, from a productivity point of view, we need to do something about this so that it's structured. Or alternatively, people might have said to us from a HR point of view, we want to have a future talent pipeline by engaging with young people early, right? However, we have a new customer and have done so in the past couple of years. And that is from a D&I perspective, diversity and inclusion. Now it is, how do we reach people apart from the majority who might come to us already? So maybe it might be gender diversity, or geographic diversity, or socioeconomic diversity. And that is where, for example, initiatives like Money Matters, or the STEM TY Challenge, or Engineering in the World, or a range of other things that we've been working on, and I've been talking about during these lives as well, have happened, is understanding how diversity and inclusion is now occurring, and of course with upcoming regulations, but also cultural developments, etc. So we might have the same customer type coming to us, but now for a different reason. Instead of the HR department, it now might be a D&I committee within a company that's coming to us. And then the last thing that I mentioned as well is, when it comes to making decisions about moving forward, when you have a menu of opportunity in front of you, like you might have when it comes to deepening a competitive advantage or choosing to invest in something. I talked about RICE. I learned about RICE a couple of months ago, and I use it a lot now in our decision making. RICE is evaluating different options according to reach, impact, confidence and effort. Now, Moving on then, Stuart from Jigsaw went on then to speak about engaging with the Leos across different supports. So we were talking about, in particular, lean, green and digital. All of those are supports available from your local enterprise office in Ireland, if that is where you are based. And you don't necessarily need to know which one is suitable for you. What's really better is if you know what business challenges you have. So Stuart asked some very, very good questions today. He asked, like, what's really annoying you? What is going on in the business today that might be really annoying you? Maybe it is you don't have any time. Maybe it is that you're finding it hard to recruit staff. Maybe it is that you're finding it hard to onboard staff. Maybe it is that your margins are far too tight. Anyway, I'll stop giving you suggestions. I'm sure you have your own. But his point is that if you can clearly identify what that is, and even if it's not so clear, and talk to your Leo about that, then that can be a way to help you figure out which support might be best for you. Another thing he asked was, what business problem would you really like to solve? Probably a similar version of the same question, but it gives you a different perspective. Another one he asked then was, he said, what holds you back from integrating tech into the business? And maybe it might be unfamiliarity, maybe it's cost, maybe it is that, as one of the people mentioned to me here today, maybe it is that you can only find an off-the-shelf solution when you need something more tailored. Maybe it is that you don't have time to onboard everybody. Maybe it is that it's the change management associated with software is the issue. Talk to your Leo about this and let them help you help them. He talked about the twin transformation that's happening in business today between, he said, digital transformation and sustainability. They're the two big trends that are happening, whether it comes from the perspective of COVID and then us leading to efficiency and hybrid working and all those trends, and then all of the other things that I mentioned as well regarding sustainability. And that is where the sweet spot of the Leo supports are: lean, green and digital. Lean helps you run your business more efficiently. Green is all about helping your business to either develop its sustainability policy or communicate better in terms of sustainability or reduce your carbon footprint. We have engaged with Green for Business. We applied for it about a month ago now. It took about half an hour to apply for it. We were approved for it within 24 hours, and we had a meeting with our sustainability consultancy company within a week, and now we're implementing the actions accordingly. Also, people we're talking about working on the digital supports as well, and various other ones that are available from the Leo. Okay, I want to tell you two things as well that I shared with people later on during the panel discussion, more so. Two practices I've gotten into. One is every week. Now, I've only done this for the past 3 weeks, right? So when I say every week, this is a developing habit, is I've started recording for the team internally is a vault of evidence around what we do from a sustainability point of view. So it might be we're working with a group of teenagers this week in a financial literacy initiative. It might be like today, for example, helping companies understand how they can be more lean, green and digital, helping companies in a certain part of the country, West Cork in this case, how to engage with their agencies. Like, all of this helps other companies be more sustainable. And since I've started doing it, my radar and antennae have gone way up in terms of the sustainability impact that we're working on or helping others to work towards. And what I'm finding is that there's trends appearing, and what we do need to do as a business is start to finding the key performance indicators that really matter to us and to our customers as well. But by recording a video every week internally for the team, it's making sure that we talk about this as a team, and it's helping us converge towards what's important for us. The other thing I want to tell you in terms of this twin transition is also I take a bit of time, as often as I can. I'll do more of it during the summer, but I take a bit of time to look at the webinars available from our tech stack providers. So we use ClickUp, for example, is our project management software, and Airtable is our database management software. And a lot of them produce a lot of really great webinars about use cases and new features and all that sort of thing. Some of them might be half an hour, they might be an hour. And this is also something that I'm doing to make sure that we're making the most of what we're paying for along the way. So also moving on then, we had Marion, Brendan and Susan in the panel discussion, and they talked about their experience of engaging with the supports. And they said, understand your problem, and maybe your problem is that you're all over the place. Go and talk to your Leo about that. And they're certainly there to help and recommend support. Another one they mentioned is the return of time is huge. They said it may take time to fill out the form and engage with the consultant, etc., but the return of the time is huge. And the other thing they mentioned is that there can be a great follow-on journey with your Leo as well. It doesn't just stop after the 2 days consultancy, or, the Green for Business support has been implemented and the report is filed. Instead, they said it can really lead to a follow-on journey. So thank you so much indeed to Lisa, to Jamie, to all the team here at West Cork and North Cork, Leo. It's been a joy. Thank you so much, and please reach out to your Leo and see how they can help.